Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? Okay, so I have a thought that I want to share with you guys, and at first I was not going to share. And the main reason I wasn't going to share because I'm like, Deidre, every time you turn on the camera, you don't have to have advice. Ain't nobody ask you for no advice. You and all your unsolicited advice. Like you got life all together. I don't. And don't, like my niece say, and don't. But, you know, when God gives me something to share, he doesn't give it to me just for me. I'm sure it's primarily for me. But, you know, I want to share this. So anyways, I was thinking about how are we waiting in expectation. So we know that most of us we're in expectation of something. Either we're looking for a job, or we're looking for that career job, or we're looking for that promotion, or we're looking to start our own business, or to increase in our business. Perhaps we're in expectation of a husband, a good man who loves and adores us. Perhaps you're looking in expectation of your children, coming into how you raise them. We're in expectation of many things. You know what you're in expectation of. There are blessings that you want. There are things that you ask God for, and it just doesn't seem like it's coming to fruition. It doesn't look like those things that you want are being manifested. And perhaps they are. Perhaps you're in your season. Perhaps you're in your harvest, and things are working out great for you. But for those of you who are in expectation and you feel like there's no hope, or you're about to give up hope, I want to ask you, how are you waiting? How are you in expectation? What's your attitude while you're waiting? And I think that's one of the biggest, most important things in waiting on Christ Jesus to bless us or to give us our heart's desire, is how we're waiting. We should be waiting. I'm going to give you 3 things that resonated in my spirit. How we should behave while we're waiting. Number 1, we should be waiting in faith. Knowing that God can and God will, if it's his will. That was my pastor's sermon on Sunday. God can, God will, if it's his will. So you have to wait in faith and expectation. But you also have to know that God can, because sometimes we think God can't do a thing. He can do all things. And then we have to know that he will. But most importantly in that equation is, we have to know that God will do it if it's in his will. And a lot of times we don't care nothing about God's will. We think we care about our will, and we want God to do that thing that's in our will. And I'm guilty. I've actually prayed, Lord, I know it's important to say thy will be done, but you know my heart. I want Deidre's will to be done in this particular thing. It's kind of like, forget your will. Put your blessings on my will. But we have to know that God can, God will, if it's his will. So we have to be in faith about that. Secondly, we got to wait in good attitude, good character. Not being depressed about God not giving us what we want at that time. Not being moody about it. Not treating people because we're feeling a certain way on the inside, we're projecting that onto other people. Being mean, being nasty, being condescending, gossipy, just not having the character of Christ Jesus. So you have to be in expectation and in your waiting period. I mean, at all times you should be reflecting the fruit of the Spirit. However, you have to be able to have that while you're waiting. You're not, woe is me. Why me? Why not me? You've got to know that God, he's got you. It's in his timing. But you have to have a good attitude about it. You got to treat people the way God would have you to treat people. You've got to be a giver. Think about others more than yourself. Get outside yourself of, woe is me, why not me, where are you, God, why are you not doing this or that for me? God said, what have you done for me lately? Well, God ain't say that, but I'm just saying, that's the way I imagine God saying. We're always going to him like, Lord, I want this, I need this. But I just imagine God said, well, so what have you done for me lately? What have you done for the kingdom lately? What have you, when you do these things to the least of these, when you take care of the sick, take care of the poor, take care of children, take care of the elderly, when you're showing goodness and kindness and mercy and grace and kindness, that's for the kingdom. That's for kingdom's sake. So what have you done for him lately in your waiting and in your asking and in your expectation? And lastly, thirdly, is you've got to do some things. You can't just sit in expectation and wait on God. You've got to move. You've got to implement some things towards your goal or towards what you want. If you're wanting that house, you've got to get your credit in order. If it's not, and if it is in order, awesome, but keep it in order. You got to start looking at homes that you want. If your credit in the 400s, and you get work on getting your credit, learn about credit, and start looking in expectation what you want God to bless you with. If you want a husband, you got to be that wife. He that findeth a wife, not a girlfriend, not a side chick, not a friend, not an old lady, but he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. You're already a wife. Prepare yourself to be that wife to be found. You got to do some things in expectation, and that's a whole nother video of preparing yourself to be that wife. And if you want that video, just let me know in the comments. But those are my, those are the things that resonated with me, and the things that I wanted to share, with you, is that you've got to be in faith of what you're asking God for. But in an expectation of what you're asking God for, you got to know that God can and God will if it's his will. And that's the part that we don't like, if it's his will. And secondly, what was second? I can't remember. Y'all know what was second. And thirdly is you've got to, secondly is your attitude. How are you waiting? How are you being? How are you treating others in expectation? You're in expectation of what you want God to do for you, but yet you nasty, you unfriendly, you're unkind, you're unforgiving, you're not extending grace and mercy, the same grace and mercy that's been extended to you. So you've got to have the right attitude for receiving God's blessings. And then lastly, like Nike say, you got to just do it. You got to make some moves in expectation of your blessing being manifested. All right. Hope that resonated with somebody. Hope that helped somebody. For some reason, the Lord just wanted me to share, because I was going to keep that to myself. But in obedience, because I'm looking for my blessings, and I'm looking to share with you all those blessings that are on the horizon. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed. And come on over to Instagram and see me over there. It's So Blessed One, or on Facebook, Deidre, Dieidre, 2 D's, 2 I's, 2 E's, 1 R, Hillary, Hillery. But if you do send me a friend request, some kind of way you got to let me know. You got to inbox me, because if your name looks foreign and I don't know who you are, and we ain't got no mutual friends, then I'm not going to accept. But if you let me know you're my blessed one, send me a message, inbox somewhere on some social media, and I'll accept you. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.